good sales result for the Beacon Lighting Group during financial year 18, a lift of 9.7% to 235 million. And at 9.7, it was just under our 10% goal that we're sort of trying to get each year. But pretty happy still with that overall result. I guess what we were really happy about, though, was the net profit result, which was 17.7% improvement, up to $19.6 million for the year. And margin at the net profit level improved from 7.7% of sales to 8.3% of sales. So good, solid improvement there. We opened 6 new stores throughout the year. This was a bit of a pullback on where we had been in financial year 17, where we had a much more rapid growth of stores. But 6 is traditionally where we like to be able to open up our number of stores. And that's the same target that we'll be aiming for financial year 19, 5 to 6 new stores. We also purchased 1 franchise store, so we're now down to 6 franchise stores. And having said that, we'll be converting 1 new franchise store into a company store as of tomorrow, and that was the Queensland store, the Underwood store in Queensland, sorry. We'll convert to a company store, so that means we'll only have 5 franchise stores left. One of the big aspects, I believe, that was exciting for the financial year 18 was that 4 out of our 5 emerging businesses had record sales growth. And that really just says to me that what we're doing in those emerging businesses is absolutely heading in the right direction. The one business that didn't have a record sales growth was the solar business. However, they had 175% sales growth in the year prior. So they did a good job. They were about 4% under the previous year's target, previous year's result. But it's still a good result, but not quite a sales record. But all those other the international business, so Beacon International, Light Source Solutions in Roadway and Globes, and Masson for Light achieved record sales results. The other really exciting part throughout the year was our ability to be able to grow gross profit margins. So we grew our gross profit margins by 2.3% of sales, up from 63.4% to 65.7%. And the reason why we were able to achieve that result was, one was from the introduction of new product lines. So we typically try to bring out about 450 to 500 new product lines each year. This year we brought out 529 new product lines. And of those new products, they actually had really attractive margins in them. They were really decorative focused product and therefore able to achieve good solid margins out of those products. Another obvious positive was the FX currency. The dollar was higher throughout the year compared to the year prior. That has obviously pulled back a little bit since then, but we definitely had the benefit of that throughout the year. And then lastly, and probably almost the most important, was that we were able to return to our regular marketing campaigns after the exit of Masters and the wash up from that. And what we believe was some sales being brought forward, and our need to still be quite aggressive during financial year 17 to get the sales. We're able to revert back to our regular marketing campaign in financial year 18, and that helped with the gross profit margin. So, whilst you can pull different levers in retail businesses, you can reduce your margins, put on more sales, and achieve higher sales results. We decided to go for a bit more of a margin play, and we definitely achieved stronger margins throughout the year. From a comparative sales point of view, we achieved 1.6% for the year. However, that number, that's a very pure number compared to what some other retailers would be reporting. If we were to exclude our cannibalised stores, so we know that throughout financial year 17 and 18, we opened up 15 new stores in 2 years. So it was quite a large number of new stores. And those new stores impacted on 14 of our existing stores. So if we were to take out those 14 stores out of that number, we would actually end up with a comparative sales result of 4.4% growth, which probably is a better indicator of how the base of stores that have not been impacted by our own doings is actually performing. And that is how a lot of retailers actually would be reporting their comp sales. So, if you were to go to market and say, we achieved a 4.4 comp gain, most people would say, well, that's a pretty reasonable result. 1.6, we're probably not that excited about, but it still wasn't an awful result either. It was a pretty good result. Some other points probably need to discuss. So cost of doing business did increase slightly. It went from 51.7% of sales to 52.4%. This was mostly associated around the new emerging businesses and our new stores. Now, our stores have a maturity profile of 5 to 6 years, and the first years are usually the most expensive to run them, in that they are the most efficient, and they've got the same amount of costs but the lowest amount of sales. So as they grow throughout the years, they'll become much more efficient businesses, and we'll be able to reduce that cost of doing business line there. For the year ahead, and that's probably the most important part, because you guys can read the numbers from what happened in financial year 18. As I said, we're very happy with the performance there, but what's the year ahead going to look like? So I think one of the most exciting growth opportunities we have is around smart lighting. So at the end of September, we'll be launching our summer catalogue, which will feature a very large release of smart lighting products. They'll be focused around brands like Google and Amazon. So we'll be selling Google and Amazon devices within our stores, which are the speakers that you obviously talk to be able to do different things around your house. Those speakers then talk to the light globes that we'll be selling. So the light globe brands are Philips, LifeX, and Lucci, our own brand. And you talk to these devices, it turns on your lights in the hallway or the bedroom or whatever you want to do, dim the lights down, change the colour of the lights, all that sort of stuff. Now, why I see that as being exciting is that last year we didn't have any of that. And this is a market where we see a lot of these devices getting sold through JB Hi-Fi or other retail outlets. So we're not really that concerned about where the person buys the actual device from, but when they come to the light globes, we want to make sure they're buying the light globes from us. And these light globes typically range in price from about $34.95 up to about $90. So, there is a great opportunity to be able to, sell a new product to a new customer that potentially hasn't been to a Beacon Lighting store or is looking to change over some of their lights within their house. And you don't need an electrician to do this either, so it's actually quite easy for anyone to be able to do it, whether you're a renter or a homeowner. The other aspect of the year ahead, I think WA probably won't be as big a drag on the retail results as what they have been over the last 2 years. We see some recovery over there, and therefore I think that should be a bit of a positive for the year ahead. In regards to the other states, Queensland continues to go along pretty well for us. Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania as a southern region were fantastic during financial year 18, and we would expect that would probably continue in similar vein for financial year 19. We are seeing a bit of softness in New South Wales, but I think there's two parts to it. One would be an internal issue that we need to focus on, and one would be obviously the external macro environment around housing prices, churn rate and auction clearance rates. So for the first part, I think what we did over the last quarter was pull back on free-to-air TV a little bit, and that was across all states. And we did see a bit of a softening, and that's why we've said in the first 7 weeks comp sales are basically flat with last year. I think if we refocus our effort back onto free-to-air TV, the reason why we shifted away free-to-air TV is, like a lot of retailers, that channel is getting a lot more fragmented and ratings were reducing. But the reality is, some of the programs now are actually rating really quite well. Like The Block is doing exceptionally well. We're a big sponsor of The Block. The Bachelor is rating very well as well. So I think we do need to put a bit more effort into putting back into free-to-air TV, and that should improve some results. The other area that Beacon Lighting's been focused on over the last couple of years is around our lighting design service, and this is incremental sales. So this is really important for our growth. We offer a lighting design service across all our stores, and we've got 305 lighting designers across our stores, but we offer a premium lighting design service in only 20 of our stores. The other big area is commercial. So our commercial sales officers, they mostly sell into volume residential builders, and I'm sure you guys are across the numbers with new housing starts still looking very solid, and the forecast for the year ahead still looks very good. So that area is a nice area that has continued to grow at double-digit growth for a number of years, and we suspect that will continue this year. Our relationships with these volume residential builders just get stronger and stronger, and the service we offer them gets better and better. I think this year will be another strong year for the commercial team. And then international. So I haven't spoken too much about our emerging businesses, but Beacon International has had a terrific year last year. We launched in America and in Germany. We put people in stock on the ground in those locations. We're improving in sales. And really the only thing that's probably held us back in America is one thing, the amount of SKU items that we have over there. We only have about 35 SKUs over there, but we continually run out of stock. And that's a part of the issue, that we just didn't know how successful each one of the lines were going to be. Very early days in the business over there. So as we can continue to get more shipments over there, I'm positive that our sales will continue to improve. We're working with Wayfair, House, Amazon, HomeDepot.com, so lots of different platforms over there. Just with the economy at the moment, I think what we have typically seen is that when people do stop buying and selling houses, they do tend to revert back to renovation. And our renovation market at Beacon Lighting is very strong. So we know that 60% of our customers that shop with Beacon Lighting are actually in a renovation phase of doing up their home. So if that market does improve over the year ahead, then we should see some good growth there as well.